Hello, I'm Debanjan Chakravarti, Head English Interface Program of the British Council in India, and I'm in conversation with the two roving reporters who are reporting on this conference, various sessions, session by session. Welcome, Rani and Shephali.
Thank you,
Rani, can I ask you to introduce yourself a little bit? Can you tell us how you came about to be a roving reporter?
Yeah. I am a regular ECS member, so I keep this mails coming to my mailbox. And then I came upon this conference and I was so pleasantly surprised to find this writing challenge entry that British Council was doing. And I just gave it a try, and honestly it was such a great pleasure when I got this mail from DAF saying that I'm in as a roving reporter. So I'm really glad that I'm here.
Thank you, Rani. Shephali, how about you?
I'm Shephali. I work with the British Council as a training consultant, and it was the same for me. There was this lovely surprise to see that there is a challenge for a roving reporter, and it looked like a great opportunity to come here and involve myself with so many people.
Right.
And I'm glad I won it.
Right. And what's been happening in the sessions? How have you been going about it?
Yeah, through the plenaries and the panels we have been sitting through, but then you have a lot of parallel sessions and I'm not all too happy that we can't cover all of them. In fact, the first day I jumped 2 sessions and DAF said maybe it's better you just sit through one. I was trying to grab most of what is possible. But the plenary, the panels are being covered completely. And also when we pass by, we're looking at the posters, and then we're looking at how people are networking over lunch and coffee. And then also taking a look at the stalls, the OUP and the Macmillan and Clarity and all that. So in all, I think it's a great experience.
Right.
Are you also sort of capturing the conversations that are happening on the sidelines?
Not just the conversations, but we're trying to get the flavor of the conference as such.
Right.
And that's been positive. And I have been concentrating a little more on the interactions that are happening in the sessions, as to how the questions are being framed, what kind of questions come up, and generally following the participants around.
Yes, that's
something
fantastic
I've been
to
doing.
hear. What do you think, Shephali, is the value of a conference like this? You have been a teacher educator yourself.
Yeah, we've been talking about continuous professional development, and one of the ways to do it is to attend a conference like this. So even if you don't really learn a lot, there are these seeds of thought planted in your mind, and then you go back and work on it. So definitely if you come back next year for another conference, you have gone through continuous professional development in that time.
Rani, can you share an anecdote from what you have seen, conversations you have heard from the conference? Or
no, I think about 1 or 2 things that were very amusing and that actually stayed in my mind. One is this poster, the slide that is repeatedly being shown in a couple of sessions, not just one. It just happens that there's an overlap where you have the different animals, from a goldfish to an elephant, standing at the beside a tree, and then whoever is there is asking your admission will depend on who climbs the tree first. So I think this idea that teachers are trying to fit the same custom-made thing for every learner without really considering their ability is one thing that has gone home because of that beautiful slide.
Yes.
The second thing that really interested me was, I don't know who it was, maybe one of them, Alan or somebody, I don't really remember who, when he was talking about this typical Indian style of talking and how you get that across. He's saying when he was just checking in at the reception and somebody said, "Where are you coming from?" And he said, "Just there," because we have this habit of adding this ing everywhere. And I got back to remembering something that one of my teachers said, "Are you having children?" Where instead of saying, "Do you have?" or "Where do you come from?" So when there are illustrations like this, that really stays. And I think for an Indian audience of this kind, where you really 1,000+ people from India and abroad. So I think these kinds of things they will carry home, and at least in small ways, if not in big radical ways, change is going to happen in the English teaching scene.
Any special anecdote, anything that stands out from your...
Not one particular thing, but generally I noticed that people who are sitting on the panel are trying to connect to the audience, making the sessions interactive, and then bringing in personal experiences. So that makes it memorable, So you may not remember what they said, but you remember the story they told. And then that connects back to what was happening there. So that has been really, really nice, I think.
They're doing their best to make it interesting.
And thank you so much, Shephali and Rani, for sharing your time with us. We were speaking to Shephali and Rani, the 2 roving reporters for this conference, Teacher Education Conference 2012 from Hyderabad.
Thank you.